Hey, Dr. Jensen here, sharing one of the many things that I do to support my immune system during cold and flu season, which is to make fire cider. Since it takes about 4 weeks to be ready, I typically make my first batch at the end of August, so it's ready to be used at the start of cold and flu season. So there's many variations of fire cider recipes. You really can't mess this up. I'd say as long as you have the 5 core ingredients, you can't really go wrong. And they are onion, garlic, ginger, horseradish, and apple cider vinegar. So for this batch, I chopped up those core ingredients as well as added jalapeno for a little extra kick. I added some dried rosemary and thyme for antimicrobial support. I added curcumin for anti-inflammation support. And keep in mind, you can use dried or fresh, whichever you have in your kitchen. And this time, I added dried elderberries for fun, which I haven't added to fire cider before, so I'm super curious to see how this is about to turn out. Elderberries are very helpful in supporting the respiratory tract due to their antiviral properties and boosting the immune system with their antioxidant properties, so they're ideal for cold and flu season. And that's what I love about plants and herbs is they're so versatile in the way that they support our bodies. For example, garlic helps to boost the immune system and is antimicrobial, which helps the respiratory system fight off cold and flus. It helps to regulate blood sugar as well as blood pressure. It's also antiparasitic, among many other healing properties. So herbal medicine is truly a gift to our bodies. Anyways, so some fire cider recipes call for lemon or orange peels, cinnamon sticks, parsley, black peppercorns. Just get creative with it and use whatever you have in your kitchen. Some recipes recommend shredding the ginger and the horseradish, but I was short on time and it just felt like too much to shred them today. So I just chopped up everything to the best of my ability. You can put all the ingredients in either one large mason jar, or in my case, I used 2 quart-sized mason jars because that's what I had available. When filling the jar or jars with your ingredients, be sure to stop at about 2 inches below your fill line, so there's plenty of room to shake up the ingredients. And go ahead and add the apple cider vinegar to the fill line. I then use parchment paper to cover the jars before closing and tightening the lids to prevent rusting of the lids, because who wants that? Then I shook the jars and placed them in my pantry where they'll sit for about 4 weeks, but I'll shake them every day. Sometimes I do have a hard time remembering that they're in there, so I put them at the front of my pantry so I can see them as soon as I open the door. But some people like to set phone reminders or Post-it reminders. At the end of 4 weeks, I use cheesecloth to strain the fire cider into a large bowl, and I usually do this over the sink to prevent making a mess. And be sure to squeeze it really well to ensure you're getting all of the good herbal medicinal goodness out of it. Then as the cider is sitting in the large bowl after I've squeezed it, I'll mix in some local honey. Feel free to add as much as you'd like. I tend to go overboard with my honey because it's one of my favorite things in the whole world. After I've gotten the flavor where I want it, I put the fire cider back in this awesome glass jar that I found at Goodwill, and I keep it stored in the refrigerator. So now each day when I come home from work, it's kind of become a little ritual for me to take it out of the fridge, pour about a tablespoon worth into a little shot glass, and toast to my good health. It definitely has a pretty strong flavor, and remember, there's no exact measurements or ingredients, so feel free to have fun with it. And I hope this keeps you healthy during these colder winter months, and cheers to your good health.